Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and more Blood and Plunder here as we work our way now into the unaligned and peripheral powers characters. Taking a look first at Jean Hamlyn. So he's a 25 pointer, can only lead pirates, but has a lot going on for those 25 points. So we get a choice of weapons, so we can kit them out more or less however we need or whatever we feel like here. We can go brace of pistols or buccaneer gun and standard melee weapon, right? Brace pistols is always nice because we're basically never going to be reloading. Now, alternately, if we wanted a little bit more long range, we could go with the Buccaneer gun and standard melee weapon and then actually still get the pistol as a sidearm, so ultimately getting 3 weapons that way. So definitely some choices to make. For 25 points, we get the pretty good setup here of 12-inch command range and 2 command points. And he's going to be pretty good on land or water, really. We'll get into that here in a second. But really good command range. 2 command points is pretty much standard. But we'll let us do more or less everything that we need. Now he comes for those 25 points with just a whole slew of special rules. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 special rules, and really none of them are like a downside at all. So if we're playing on the water, we do get broadside, and of course, always a good one. We haven't seen that in a while after covering the native commanders, which don't really have that. But broadside, our old favorite here for being on the water. All artillery fired during his activation can be fired simultaneously, counts as the same range attack, and basically increases our chance of getting crits. Crits, of course, are going to be one of the best ways to demolish enemy ships, make them have to worry about all kinds of other stuff aside from just pure damage. Things like setting them on fire, flooding, damaging their sails, steering, etc. Like there's just all kinds of good stuff with getting more crits. So always a welcome ability to have when we're on the water. Then one that we haven't seen in quite some time, Cunning, and that's a fun one. So when this unit falls back as a result of becoming shaken, it can move 5 instead of 4, which really just helps us out in combat because that 5-inch is going to be 1 inch more than like the enemy could pursue us. So it kind of prevents that follow-up attack or follow-up charge, however we want to consider that, but basically lets us manage combat a little bit more effectively. So always a welcome ability. Now we probably want to be careful when we risk our commander's unit in combat, just as a good rule of thumb, but that is a nice ability to have. Very sneaky and piratey as well. Moving right along, inspiring, one of our go-to abilities for really any commander, but not quite as good, of course, as very inspiring, but that's all right. This will do just fine. All friendly units within his command range may reroll any failed rally tests when he is active or his unit's active. So 24-inch command bubble again. So basically we can dole out those 2 command points a lot of the times for some rallies and get extra mileage out of that, right? Anytime we get free rerolls in the game is great when we're not having to spend more resources or other things to acquire that. So always a welcome ability as well. Then we move right along. Ruthless, been a while since we've seen that one as well, and that's a nice one too. If we can time things correctly in the turn and really take advantage of Ruthless, it can actually be, well, quite a ruthless ability to employ. But basically when we're shooting at enemy units with small arms, not explosives, and fight tests against enemies with more fatigue than us, we actually get a -1 bonus to the roll. So again, if we can set things up to where we're ideally engaging units that already have that, or for maybe throwing out an order to a nearby unit, hey, shoot the enemy unit that we want to deal with, maybe get that fatigue on there. Hey, now they have more fatigue, now we're going to act and shoot them or fight them or whatever, get that bonus. Anytime we can get these bonuses, it's always going to be great, increasing our chances, and ideally our commander's unit is going to excel at whatever we need it to, whether it's shooting or fighting or both. So anytime we can get that to go off and really take advantage of it, hopefully with just a wonderful roll, and we'll start wiping out enemy units, always going to be a good thing. Now last here, and somewhat situational, although he's kind of got, I would say, like the super vendetta going. Usually when we've seen vendetta, it's usually just against one nation, often the Spanish, but here he just kind of hates everybody. Vendetta against Spanish, English, Dutch, and French. So good chance that you're going to have that ability actually active, because that's represents a large amount of the factions in the game. So when fighting against a force of that nationality, you can this force may reroll 1 failed die in any rally test. So with that and inspiring, basically, we're going to ideally stick in the fight much longer and really keep the force on the field, right? We're going to make those rallies with these all these rerolls that we get, and in a lot of cases too, if that's active, that hopefully will free up our commander to not just have to spend his command points doing rally orders and maybe focusing on other more offensive abilities. But nonetheless, we have the ability here with Hamlyn to keep the force in the fight for quite some time. So really, all in all, for 25 points, now again, he's leading the pirate faction, but we have a little bit of water ability here, or naval ability with the broadside, and just good set of abilities in general. So he can really fight in any avenue here. So for 25 points, is he really one of the best commanders out there, pound for pound? Let us know in the comments, guys, what your thoughts are. Have you played with him or against him, and how has that gone? Thanks so much for watching. Again, hit us up in the comments, like and subscribe, and we'll be back for more Blood and Plunder soon. Thanks for watching.